Hey there, this is David Wood, and I'm making a video for my special friends, my fans who are on my email list, opening my emails. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a video series explaining to you how to make $10,000 per month in 2023 and beyond. Now, if you're watching this video and you're already making more than $10,000 a month, then I want you to continue paying attention anyways, because I'm going to show you how to make an extra $10,000 a month, and also how to make $10,000 every month, and then how to make $10,000 every 2 weeks, and then how to make $10,000 a week, and then you can even get to doing things like making $10,000 per day. Now, what I'm going to do in this series is, I'm obviously not going to do it for you. I'm going to paint for you a business model that you can create that's going to be able to generate this for you, and I'm even going to give you a special invitation to be a part of a special group of people that's going to do this bigger, better, and faster than they've ever done before. And so if you're watching this video, I want you to put everything else on the side. Close Facebook, close Twitter, close TikTok. I mean, that's a hard one, right? You should just close it down and pay attention with all of your energy to the sound of my voice right now, because I'm about to get into the training. And this is, of course, going into the new year, because I want 2023 and beyond to be your best year ever. And so, first of all, let me just turn around and write on the whiteboard here the intention that we've got for the series. So this series is to help you make $10,000 per month, and to help you do it when, right? This is the question. This is actually where we get into the nitty-gritty. Let me make sure you can see that. Okay, $10,000 per month. We want to help you do it right now, right now. So in other words, the differentiation between, you know, maybe what you're used to learning and what you're used to seeing is that I want to teach you to make $10,000 a month in this video series, but I want to teach you how to do it faster, better, quicker, and easier than you've ever done it before. In fact, I want you to be able to do it in this moment, right now, with the resources that you have available, with the knowledge that you have available, with the skill set that you have available. Maybe we're going to expand on that a little bit, and we want to build out a model, right? And this is the key, a model to make that pattern continue, right? Now, we've got a lot of changes that are happening in the market right now, and I think that this is a thing that we need to address really fast in the series. And first of all, you know, why should you listen to me about this? It's because pretty much whenever I've wanted to, I've created a big income on the internet, right? I've taken breaks, I've built gigantic things. I mean, I've built teams, and collectively we've done a couple $100 million in sales. I've helped people build companies that are doing $1 million a month, $3 million a month, $5 million a month in sales. And of course, I've helped a lot of people just like you learn how to get their first sale online, learn how to get their first 10 sales online, learn how to build something bigger, learn how to build something better, and learn how to position themselves in front of exploding trends that can really get them, their lives, and their business to the next level, right? So what are some trends that we need to be aware of right now that we could take advantage of in 2023 and beyond? There's an emerging trend right now. There's actually a lot of emerging trends right now, but there's an emerging trend right now that we need to be particularly aware of. And there's also some sort of concern maybe that we could have about these trends that I'm going to talk about right now, but we need to be aware of what they actually are. The first one is artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence. You know, artificial intelligence used to be like a thing in sci-fi movies and fantasies, right? You know, you flip on the TV and there's a Terminator movie that's on about a artificial intelligence, Skynet, that, you know, decides to turn on humanity, and people are like, oh yeah, artificial intelligence. At the time, you know, artificial intelligence couldn't do anything. It couldn't even run a GPS, right? Or it was just starting to come out. I think they were just starting to create computer graphics around then. You know, that was like, you know, how old I am. In any case, then, you know, we have the smartphone, and we have the next generation smartphone, and now you've probably seen ChatGPT, for example, where artificial intelligence is starting to outperform a lot of jobs that we've trained a long time to be able to do, like, for example, copywriting, right? So people are like, oh, you know, artificial intelligence is never going to replace a good copywriter. People are writing their emails now and their headlines with artificial intelligence. They're not using copywriters as much. And so there's a lot of industries that we need to be aware of that in the face of increasing opportunity, they are actually kind of slowly going away and getting eaten away by technology that are going to be able to do those things better. And if you don't believe that artificial intelligence is going to be able to write better than humans, you're not paying attention, right? Now there's some sounds in the background, there's a plane going by, there's some birds singing. As you listen to those distractions, just pay more attention to the sound of my voice. If I stumble on my words, just pay more attention and relax, because we're going to talk for a few minutes. And so artificial intelligence is a trend where, you know, we got a couple years left until this is basically going to do a better job of basically everything that we can do as marketers, as human beings. And so we need to be aware of the trend of, you know, artificial intelligence. The next thing is just talking about, you know, opportunities, for example. Our reach that we have available right now is far beyond anything that has ever been on the internet. You know, we have so much reach today. You say, what do you mean? Well, it used to be, you know, we were locked into, those of you who have followed me for a long time, a really tiny market that really wasn't growing that big. And we figured out how to get bigger and better in that market than anybody. You know, expanding to one point, you know, we had 500,000 customers that came through. And today the reach that we have is just so much exponentially greater than it used to be because of things like paid advertising. You know, with Facebook, of course, Facebook is having problems with their paid ads since the, you know, the algorithm updates and whatnot. But we have TikTok, for example. TikTok is a trend that we need to be aware of because you just have the ability to reach so many people today that you've never had the ability to reach at such higher volume than you've ever been able to reach the people, that the way that you can make money right now is so accelerated compared to how it used to be, and so much bigger than it used to be, except for there are some major changes. For example, there is a lot more competition that's out there today doing the kind of things that we do, right? So there's competition, and then people are starting to get replaced with artificial intelligence. I actually pulled together a group of students just the other day, and in about an hour, I mapped out with people how to use free artificial intelligence technology to write all their headlines, to write all their emails, to write free blog posts in seconds, to take the blog posts and turns them into your, you know, videos that are using your voice without you ever saying a thing, right? The artificial intelligence that's out there now can copy your voice. It sounds like you. It's starting to sound more like you. It still sounds a little bit robotic, but that's going to change over the next couple of years to where I'm telling you, you'll be able to take a script, show in AI a bunch of your videos, and the script will be written by AI, and you'll be able to just throw the script into content creation engine, hit a button, and it'll make a video with a whiteboard with you drawn on the whiteboard, reading your script with your inflection, looking exactly like you, only maybe your teeth will be whiter, your skin will look brighter, and you'll look a little bit more like a movie star, right? The reality is that we need to be highly aware. Right now, this is kind of like the Wild West, right? Where artificial intelligence usage doesn't really have any sort of regulation for how you can use it, for example, right? You can write a whole email series made up by artificial intelligence. You don't have to disclose it was made from artificial intelligence. And a lot of times, this outperforms real copywriters, right? And so I pointed this out to my private group just the other day. And by the way, if you're not in that, you could obviously pick up the Empower Network Vault. This isn't what this series is all about, but there's a link below this video that you can get that. And, you know, I showed people in about an hour long, I walked through how to do all of that. And I wrote an email series, a follow-up email series, right? And I reconstructed a sales letter, and I wrote a blog post, and I created a video all from zero, from using AI technology in front of people. I mean, it was a 6 email series, a blog post on network marketing, a video that was about 10 minutes long, right? And I did all of that while explaining how to do it in an hour, right? That was something that would take, if you were going to do that and you knew what you were doing, about 6 hours of work. The thing is, though, with what I did is I did that while I was explaining it, so I wasn't really doing it as fast as you can do it, right? I did it in front of people, and the content that it came up with, it's not as good as my content, right? So you say, if your content's up here, how good was it, right? Well, if you have a beginner here and my content's like up at the top and this is a scale of 1 to 100, the AI was like 70 or 80. It was better than a beginner. It was better than somebody that's been doing marketing for a year. It was better than somebody that's not a copywriter that's just getting started, and it could do it with any kind of a product, any kind of a service, and it can model anything, right? So this is getting more and more and more and more powerful, and combined with the exponential reach that we have, where it's possible to start a subscription as a service business and to have 100,000 customers on it. Just because you have the ability to reach so many people that you couldn't reach before, right? So when you're talking about how do you take this and how do you turn it into money, let me break down an income model for you real quick, because this is just something that's useful to go over. I don't have the best angles right now. I'm doing this out here in my house in the mountains in Costa Rica, but I'm gonna just break some basic stuff, some basic numbers down here for you about how to generate income, okay? So how do you generate income, right? How do you generate income? Well, there's a few ways of generating income. Let's say you want to make $10,000 a month. How can you do it? Well, there's a bunch of different ways. For example, you could have a product that's a subscription that you have 100 people, right? And 100 people pay you $100 each per month. That's going to make you $10,000 that month. Right now, if that's a subscription, it'll make you $10,000 every month, except for the reality is there will be a drop-off, so you've got to at least replace the subscribers as fast as they're dropping off. So let's say you're dropping 5% off a month, which would be normal. If you add 5 to 15 subscribers per month, you usually would replace the drop-off in that situation. You might be higher, so maybe you're going to need to replace 10 per month. So now you have 10 new subscribers per month, maintaining the income of $10,000 per month. This is method number one, right? Now you say, well, what's this about? We'll talk about this in this video series, right? I want to make this very simple for you to understand, very basic, a very simple walkthrough, and then we're going to show you how to build it out to where it just can turn into something gigantic for you, all right, that continues to create a result for you, whether you're awake or you're asleep, in other countries, in other territories, in other languages, using technology that's available today that you have access to, right? Now, number two. What's another way of doing it? Well, you could get 50 people, right, to pay you $200 per month, right? That's another way of doing it, right? So now you have half the people, and this creates $10,000 for you. That's one way of doing it, right? Well, once you get past about $200 a month, I mean, people would normally do like $197 a month. You run into an issue where people won't continue paying huge subscriptions in general unless you got a corporate client and you got to have something just super legit, like a real software for that, right? And even then, you know, there's a big drop off after like $197 a month with your ability to do it. Let's move this camera down here because I want to just keep going for a minute to just show you sometimes we're not thinking the right way, right? What's another way of doing it, right? Well, another way of doing it, right, is you have half that, right? So you have, 25 people, and the 25 people are, paying you $400, right? And that's going to equal, right, because this is half and this is double, right? That's going to equal $10,000, right? Now this might be getting a little bit redundant. What's the next way? Number 4, right? Number 4 is, okay, you've got 10 people. We'll just go now. We'll get 10 people, right? Paying you $1,000. Now this is obviously not going to be monthly that you're doing, right? That's going to equal $10,000 per month as well. Obviously, another way to do it, not to be redundant on purpose here, is to get 5 people. They pay you $2,000, and of course, another way to do it, right, is you get one person to pay you $10,000. Now, these aren't going to be, monthly fees, obviously, unless you, again, have some sort of consulting client that's got a lot of revenue and you're making them a lot of money, in which case you can charge actually a lot more than that per month. And I've done it, I've had people do it. The reality is this, though, right, is that if you can leverage yourself to make less effort mean more money. You're gonna make a lot more money in your business. You're gonna make a lot more money in your life. And the reason is because if you look at that scale, let me show it to you again. By the way, I'm almost out of batteries, so when this ends, it's just gonna end. This is gonna be video 2, and in video 2, you're gonna look out for how the model works, right? So if you look at this, right, how much harder is it to get a $2,000 customer than it is to get a $200 customer, right? The answer is those numbers are relatively the same, right? Now, it's to get a $200 per month subscriber, you just got to have a legitimate service. There's a lot of ways to do that, right? But to make $2,000, right, it is really not any harder than making $200, and making $200 is maybe a little bit, but not much harder than making $50, right? And making $50 is a little bit, not too much harder than making about 20, right? So it really is. It is a little bit more work, but it's not much harder to make $2,000 as it is to make $200. It's about the same, right? So in this case, let's say it's a tiny bit more sales ability, but then you've also got more customer satisfaction and people that are generally happier with you, right? You have less customers equaling a lot more money, right? Less work on your end equaling bigger leveraged pay. You have less time commitment going out from you equaling a bigger money that's coming to you more fast if you have the ability to charge more money for what you do, right? Or to receive bigger commissions somehow, right? Now, coming into this next year, I have some stuff. It's going to rock your world with how much money people are going to be able to make. I'm just telling you, people are going to make so much money in 2023. It's going to be redonkulous with a honking horn, with a honk. Redonkulous, rehonkulous. It's going to be so ridiculous. So going into 2023, 2024, right, there's going to be a lot of ways to make a lot of money very quickly. Just being around and just opening every email and watching every video and making sure to pay attention to the video that goes out tomorrow. My question for you right now is, what would you do, have, or become if you had an extra 10K coming your way every single month, right? What would you do differently? What would you have differently? Where would you travel differently? How would you build your life differently? How would you build your business differently? What would you do different about your life? How different would your life be? What would you do? What would you have? What would you become if time and money weren't an issue for you? Let's just say you had $10,000 per month coming in. Every month, like clockwork, it's coming in. It's like, boom, $10,000 a month comes in. Most people, they have to work 40 hours a week, right? Every week who make $10,000 a month, and most of them are actually at $10,000 a month. They're working 50 hours a week. So what if you could create $10,000 per month in like an hour or 2 hours a week, right? Or what if you could do it in 5 hours a week, right? How would your life be different if you could have that money coming in 2023? Well, in this video series, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that step by step. I'm going to show you how to break it down. I'm going to show you how to put it together. I'm going to show you how to make it practical. I'm going to give you information that describes mechanically how you can make that happen for yourself, right? And how you can take that skill set with you and you can make it happen for the rest of your life. So the intention of this series, again, is to show you how to do that, but this just breaks down some models. If you can have somebody giving you $10,000 every month, right? Then you're going to make $10,000 a month as long as your expenses are relatively low. But let's say it costs you $5,000 to make $10,000. Well, then you'd have to bring in two customers in order to get the $10,000 in profit. So we're talking about, I'm going to show you how to get to a level, $10,000 a month, where you can have about $10,000 in profit, because I want to show you how to do it with a low budget with high results. So I want you to pay attention. I want you to, make sure to open every email. I want to make sure to click on every link. I want you to make sure to visit every page. I want you to make sure to pay attention. These birds are singing in the background. You're hearing my voice, and I'm communicating with you again. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you, how awesome you are, how much I believe that you have the ability to create a new life, have the ability to create a new destiny, have the ability to create new relationships, have the ability to create new businesses, have the ability to live your dreams, to step into the passions that are inside of you. You do have the ability to do it, and This series is going to be a little bit, it's a thank you from me to you for just opening the email and being on my list. And I'm going to show you a little bit of how, and I'm going to show you how to get there a lot bigger, a lot faster, a lot more consistently, with a lot less work, with a lot less money than you would do if you hadn't watched the series, if you hadn't paid any attention, if you hadn't opened every email, if you hadn't clicked on every link like you obviously are. So I want you to be really clear that you're now paying attention to this, to every video, to every word, to every email that goes out to you, learning every single day, and I'm going to show you how to put things together like this that can create big difference in your life. I will see you on the beach of the world. I will see you in video number 2. It'll come out, look, tomorrow or the next day. Let's lock arms and fight the forces of evil.